All right, y'all. I'm here with the lovely Kat here today on this very great podcast. Go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am a personal trainer, a nutritionist. I do everything online, and I also do cosmetic tattooing.
Okay. So how long have you been doing tattooing?
Only since January of this year, so I'm brand new to it.
Brand new to it. How's it going so far? Like it's fun, it's cool.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely different. It's a great place for me to put like some creative energy. So,
I love that. And I like your tattoos, by the way.
oh, thanks. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I feel like they're better than mine right now. I need to do better. But so the topic is toxicity within social media.
Okay.
So what do you have like your own stories on the toxicity you've dealt with on social media?
I mean, like personally, I haven't had like any issues with people, but I definitely think that throughout social media, there is a lot of that toxicity. Um, just from people really like comparing themselves to other people. A lot of people don't actually post what is legitimate, or they don't post like their hardships. It's maybe only the good stuff.
Yeah,
Um, Along with just generally like a lot of times people don't even really post things that are real. So
I feel that. And I feel like, yeah, like what you said, I feel like people do try to be like other people
yeah,
and they also try to be better versions of that same person. And that's what's toxic, you know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, me personally, I've seen a lot of people just beefing on there. Oh, that's Sandra.
Absolutely.
All right. So, but yeah, me personally, I've seen a lot of like beef going on social media and stuff like that, and that's the biggest toxicity that I've seen.
Yeah.
So, especially like when it comes to relationships. I don't know, has that ever like happened to you?
Like not within my own relationships, but I've definitely like just seen same thing, just seen things people like in comments and maybe just saying shit that they am I allowed to curse on here?
Yeah, yeah, I've been cursing.
Um, is saying shit that like they should not be saying. So definitely.
Yeah. Damn. So like, what kind of comments were they?
I mean, I just feel like a lot of people, maybe when somebody posts something, they are extremely judgmental about something. I also just see a lot of things within like the LGBTQ community about people not understanding other people's like gender identities or, choice of fashion, how they want to express themselves.
Yeah,
Um, that stuff is like pretty disturbing to me because we're in 2022 and things should definitely be a lot more accepted, in my opinion.
exactly. I was just gonna say that yeah, things need to be more accepting.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, you yourself, like, what is your or like sexual orientation? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, I guess I feel like everybody is a little bit like curious, but I would probably say bisexual.
Asexual? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's so with that, I feel like people that want to judge that type of shit, I feel like them themselves maybe feel that way. They just don't
Yeah.
really know how to express it in their own way, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. So
I def-
yeah,
yeah. And like a lot of people too, I mean, just kind of from being ignorant to certain things and not having like a full understanding, they're just very very quick to judge other people. And I do, like you kind of said, like it always comes from an insecurity within that person.
yeah,
So once you kind of start to get past those things and address those things, you become a lot less judgmental to other people and more open.
I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that. Like me, my family, I have a lot of family members that are lesbian or gay or
Yep.
even transgender.
Yeah.
So with that, it's kind of like that's my family. gotta love them and accept them for what they believe in and what they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that, you gotta learn how to accept others as well. And I feel like people don't really understand that.
100%. Yeah. I mean, like, there are obviously a lot of changes happening and a lot of like the newer generation coming in and expressing themselves in a new way. And I feel like for a lot of people, unfortunately, it's one of those things where it doesn't directly affect them, but for some reason they still need to like interject or give their opinion. And for me, it's always like, if something isn't affecting me, just let somebody live their life and be happy. It just doesn't really, to me,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. It just causes a lot more like hardship and stress when you need to be like judging other people.
Yeah. It's just people worrying about other people. And
Exactly.
honestly, in my opinion, it's ridiculous. It's childish because for one, if they're worried about other people, they're not worrying about themselves. They're not doing what they need to be fucking doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I feel like the more you get up there, especially on social media, the more you grow your following, the more you get up there, the more judgment you're gonna get.
Exactly.
That's just the world we live in today.
Yeah, definitely.
But do you feel like it's gonna get worse from here, just as years go by?
Like, definitely. I think it's like interesting how like we're at this point and it's already pretty toxic. I
Yeah,
mean, it's only going to get more advanced from here. um and you just hear stories about like what younger kids are exposed to anyway and how easy it is for them to be exposed to those things.
yeah,
So I think it's just going to continue to advance itself.
I feel that. Especially, yeah, I like how you said that. Because I have younger siblings. My sister is probably what, second grade or so. Yeah, second grade, and she's already, on phones and all that on this, social media stuff. And I'm like, she's already getting used to what's going on there.
Yeah. It,
Toxicity, all shit. Yeah, it's
yeah,
sad.
it
So,
is definitely.
so yeah, with that, I feel like it's definitely gonna get worse from there. Who knows what it's gonna look like?
Yeah, yeah, no, totally. I feel like, obviously it can be a very helpful tool as well. Um, for promoting your business, your podcast, anything, but unfortunately there's a lot of harm being done too. It just kind of depends like who you follow and where you're putting your energy. And that's
Yeah,
also really important to be able to like check in within yourself about like how you're doing and how what you're exposing yourself to is affecting you.
exactly, exactly. Which with that, like I said, I appreciate you coming on this podcast. Sandra herself, she works hard to try to find people to come on here and stuff like that. So
It's awesome.
it's cool. Yeah. But I mean, out of curiosity, what did make you want to come on here?
I mean, like, I just kind of saw that you guys were just like basically trying to build, and like, I think that it's really, really important just to try to help out like smaller businesses and those types of things because I'm a smaller business myself.
Yeah,
Um, and like, the more people that are exposed to it and shared with, and the more you guys are going to grow. And, I think that it just kind of like pulled me in when she was just like, basically the podcast was just going to be about like my opinion like on certain things, so I thought that was like pretty awesome too.
yeah, yeah. So like the past episodes, like I said, it's been about toxicity and pettiness, but we're just kind of talking about different stuff that people view as toxic,
Yep.
and petty shit going on in the world. And this one was social media because I feel like that's the brick of everything. That's the one that causes everything that's going on in the world because everyone's
Yeah,
fine.
definitely.
Would you say that social media has affected like any relationships that you've had? Anything like that?
um I would say yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Was it like a significant other or like a friendship?
A significant other.
Oh shit. What
Yeah.
happened out of curiosity?
You know, in like my past relationships, people having availability to, following other people and things like that. And, one of them, my ex-boyfriend started following this girl who went to the gym that he went to. And then they started, hanging out when he and I were like towards the end of our relationship. You know, and then another boyfriend that I had, same thing. It's like I was working at a gym and he started following like a bunch of girls who were going to the gym that I worked at, and I didn't even know these people.
That's wild.
So it's just like, it was just weird. I definitely do that, like, you know, some of it was insecurity within myself and things that I wasn't comfortable with. Like, I can definitely own that because from that point I've grown a lot.
Yeah,
But then there's just also things too on like other ends that I just think that like it was still just weird. Like, I don't know who these people are and I work here. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's a lot, but it is what it is, you know?
yeah. I feel like we've all had a relationship take a downfall through social media.
Oh yeah. I mean,
It's
so you've had experiences with that as well.
yeah. It was basically the same thing, just they didn't follow gym, gym people. They were
Yeah.
following like other men, stuff like that. Like females I would be associated with, they would follow other men, hit them up in their DMs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And the way they presented themselves, it wasn't well. It wasn't good.
Yeah,
So I felt
definitely.
like I felt like it was just a lot of immaturity,
Mhm.
because keep in mind this was high school, so
Yeah.
it was immaturity and stuff like that. So I had to go on, dip out of there, and really just
Yeah.
start focusing on me. You know.
Exactly. Because, like I said, you know, there are definitely baggages that everybody has, like within ourselves, that will cause like insecurity in relationships. But also, too, if you are just kind of feeling like you can't trust somebody else or you're uncomfortable with something, like that's not a good place for you to be in either. So, you need to work on yourself, but you also have to find a partner where like you don't feel that way. They reassure you, you have the security within each other, and you kind of go from that point.
Exactly. Glad
Yeah.
you said that. Right
Yeah.
there, right there tells me you got a good head on your shoulders.
Oh, I appreciate it.
A lot of maturity. I like that. How would you say you were?
I'm 25. I just turned 25.
25. You know what's
Yeah.
crazy? I've had significant others that were like 28, 29, and they still acted like they were in high school, like they
Yeah.
were still in their teens.
Mhm.
And me, I don't fuck with anything with a teen in it. So right
Yeah.
off the bat, no, you know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yep.
So that's
Definitely.
really, that's good. I really do respect that
Yeah.
you show that maturity, that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think it's important, like, to, because a lot of people, I feel like when they do share their opinions or they do say something, or let's just like whatever, I feel like a lot of times like people say things and they actually don't know what they're talking about. I won't make a comment unless I like know what I'm talking about, or at least if I feel like I know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
it's are exhausting.
That's Yeah. I haven't really had someone on here that didn't seem like they knew what they were talking about, but I'm kind of waiting for that day, just to see
Yeah.
what, just to
Oh,
see what that's like, just to see how
okay.
it goes. But yeah. With that, I mean, I feel like trying to have a relationship through social media and stuff like that. Like if you follow each other on social media, it makes shit harder. It makes shit more complicated than it needs to be.
Definitely. 100%.
So I mean, like, how would you think that you can make shit like that work if you were to follow your significant other on social media?
I think that like my mindset around certain things has like changed a lot. But I feel like one of the biggest things is just communication. Like if
Mhm.
you're comfortable with something or just like whatever, I mean, you're in a relationship with somebody for a reason. So if you're uncomfortable with something, voicing that and just being like, hey, you know, I feel uncomfortable with this are like these are the reasons why. I want to hear like your feelings on it and just be open about it. Like I feel like a lot of people are afraid to say things because they're afraid of how it comes off.
Yeah,
But the only way you can really work through, like, maybe if you are being insecure, or sometimes there actually is more to it on that other side that you're right about. So you need to communicate.
yeah. I always say that communication is key,
Oh my
and
God.
I hate when like say you with a significant other. I hate when they agree with that. And they're like, yeah, 100% I believe that, but they don't follow it.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what I don't like the most. I dislike that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that's ruined a lot of relationships, a lot of good relationships that had what's the word? That had potential.
Yeah. I mean, it's also about the maturity level that you would like to be able to share with that person. And I feel like that is very true. A lot of times, like people are like, oh yeah, loyalty is important to me.
Yeah.
Communication is important to me. You know, these things are important. And then like you get into the relationship and it's just all talk, you know? And that is something that is like really apparent until you find the right person. And when you do find the right person, like they'll show you versus telling you.
Yeah. See, for me, and you can tell me if I'm picky about this or not, or
Yeah.
whatever. But for me, I don't just look for looks. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, looks are the first that's gonna catch anyone's attention, right?
Well,
Looks are gonna catch someone's attention, but I look for that personality. I look for that energy. I look for the vibe, and I look for the same mindset. You know what I'm talking about? Like
yeah.
they gotta be able to be on the same page, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. I think that's important because if you are, well, obviously, if you're not physically attracted to somebody, I mean, you're not gonna
Give them the
look for,
time of day.
yeah, you're not gonna look for those other things. But also, I mean, if you don't share the same mindset with somebody, like it's gonna be very hard to grow with that person, and that's what the relationship is about growth. So
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, a lot of the times you'll see, the pretty face and their energy just won't match yours. That vibe will not be
yeah,
there.
I've
You know,
learned.
then
I've,
let's hear
yeah.
that. Let's hear that story.
Just, I feel like a lot of, if I have like, let's say, hung out with or dated somebody or just like whatever, somebody who was my type, like physically,
Yeah,
mentally, never on the same page. But I feel like I've had like great relationships or things with people who maybe physically weren't my type, but then mentally, emotionally, sense of humor, all that other stuff was like in alignment and made me more attracted to them physically.
yeah,
So it's like really interesting because like I definitely do have like a physical type, but it's almost never who I wind up dating because it work out that way.
the energy level is just not there, right?
Yeah, I mean, either that or just, some people unfortunately think that like because they are attractive that they can just kind of get away with everything else. And that's just not the
I
way it
hate
is.
that. I don't
Yeah.
like that. Or like
Mm-mm.
if they got a pretty face, they think they have a nice body, they think shit could be handed to them.
Yeah.
That's not how this world works. It's not.
Exactly. So,
If I gotta be the one to tell them that, I will. Will it cause drama and arguments? Probably, but at least I'm being real. And
well,
that's
yeah. And like a lot of times too, when I mean, not a lot, I mean, it kind of depends on like the person, but like if you are being upfront and honest with them and just being like, listen, like this is how I feel about this, and it's because I care about you and I want you to grow as a person, like, you know, a lot of people who aren't mentally mature enough to kind of take that in and use it as like constructive criticism, they're just going to get defensive.
exactly.
They have to grow on their own.
And it's that's the way I am. If I'm meeting somebody, like even now, I'm gonna show that care. I'm gonna want you to prosper. I want you to do your thing well. I want you to be well. You know,
Yep.
and I'm the type to check in time to time to see how you doing. See if everything's going well. That's just me. Even if we haven't hung out, or we don't really know each other like on a certain level.
Yeah.
That's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I feel like some people take advantage of that, but you know,
You just have to do you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I got one of them soft parts.
Yeah, and I feel like that too is just kind of like a rarity nowadays anyway.
Why do you say it's a rarity?
Because I feel like a lot of people are like more concerned with themselves than other people. And I feel like we're all guilty of that, like to an extent, but a lot of people genuinely, like when they ask you like how like you are or like whatever, it's not because they actually care. It's just either just for small talk or they want something. So
You know what? That's why I value friendships more than relationships right now.
yeah.
That's exactly why. Like I want to be able to have, friends to be able to call and just rant, just talk about shit. You know what I mean? Just to talk,
Yeah.
have that type of level. I like that. And honestly, you give me those type of vibes, to be honest
Oh,
with
thanks.
you. Yeah. Yeah, like have those late night talks or some shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Are you the type to do that?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm like close with somebody, definitely. Like I like being able to have deep conversations and like learn from somebody else. I think that's like really healthy and important,
Yeah.
taking different points of view.
I feel like you know a lot. Like you can pass wisdom down to people.
Oh, thanks.
I'm trying to figure out everything you're like wise about, like what you know about.
What do I know about? I've
Yeah,
been told all,
you got me
probably.
curious. You got me curious. So what off topic, what got you into first of all, what got you into getting like the tattooing and to being a personal trainer? Like basically just what got you into doing what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so in high school, I started like going to the gym, just because like that's something that I just really enjoyed. And I was just always kind of like I kept to myself. So while other people were like out partying, I was at the gym.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and that's something that I've always like really, really enjoyed. And then when I went to college, I didn't really know like what I wanted to go for. I was just going to like a community college because I wasn't really sure.
Yeah.
And then I went for a few months and then I dropped out because I was just like I always hated school. And, and the gym that I was going to, the personal training director was like, "Oh, like how old are you now?" And I was like, "Well, I'm 18." And he's like, "Okay." He's like, "Well, if you get your cert to train, I'll hire you." And I was like, "Okay." So I was there for maybe about a year and a half, and then I just like went to a few different gyms and did a few different things. And now I just own my own business. Um, so yeah, that's how that happened.
Like that. That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
very interesting. As far as college, I myself am scared to take classes because like I said, I'm like that. I wasn't good in school. I'm not a
Yeah.
scholar. I was probably like a C average student, maybe
Yeah.
with a good D minus in math. I
Yep.
just school wasn't really my thing.
Hmm.
So for me, it's hard to find something to study and stuff like that. Something I want to major in.
Definitely. Yeah. Same.
Yeah, it's tough, but who knows what's gonna happen? I don't know.
Exactly. You never know.
Yeah. As far as right now though, what I'm doing right now is I want to build up this podcast. You know what I mean? I like
Yeah.
I like doing this. I'm good at talking, so I like doing this stuff.
So what got you, I guess, got you into it? I know that you said that like you like talking, but like what was kind of the turning point for you to want to start a podcast?
Just start and hit it. It was when I was in high school. It was me and my homies. People would always say like, you guys need to start a YouTube. You guys need to start something because y'all be funny. Y'all know how to talk. Y'all are on a whole different vibe. And I would laugh at it and be like, yeah, it'd be funny to do that, but we never acted on it.
Yeah.
So one day I was out in Korea for a year. I was out there and I was like, this would be cool to start. So I started it, did my first episode with my homies on there, and I actually did well. Got a good amount of views and everything like that. So good amount of listens, I should say. And from there, just wanted to keep doing it. Started doing it by myself, and then eventually got a team, which is you met Sandra and everything, and that's how this happened. And I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important to be putting your energy into something that you enjoy, because that will give you like a return and make you feel recharged versus if you're putting a lot of energy into something that you don't enjoy and that's only draining you, then you're gonna just wind up feeling drained and
Exactly.
lacking
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, like these we try to do weekly, but like these are one of the things I look forward throughout the week. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to this recording, you know what I mean? Like, it's just shit I'm looking forward to. And I like meeting lovely people such as yourself, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's fun. It's definitely
yeah,
fun.
definitely.
Yeah. But where did you say you were from again?
So I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Well,
Yes.
I have an auntie that lives out in Conway, Pennsylvania, over by Pittsburgh. I don't know if you know where that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I actually have an aunt and some cousins that live in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they live more. What is it? It's close to Beaver Falls. That town.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Conway.
Cool.
Haven't been out there in a minute, but I did like the vibe out there a little bit. It's a little
Yeah.
different.
Pittsburgh is really cute. It's a really nice city. It's small, but it's definitely really, really nice.
Yeah, but then when people talk about Philadelphia, it's like not so good. Like, what's up
It's
with that?
yeah. It's honestly Philly's like really cute too, but it's just like in any city. It just depends where you go. Like you go to like New York City, and there are certain areas that it's like awesome, and other areas where it's just like not as nice.
The chain is gonna get snatched.
It, you never know. Yeah, my brother lived in Brooklyn for the longest time, and now he is in LA. Um, but yeah, I mean, like he's lived in all different kinds of places. Some places that he was like, yeah, it was really, really nice here, but in other places just aren't. And then you kind of just weed yourself through those.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, shit, we are about out of time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really nice having you on here. You have a good energy to you, and I fuck with
Thank.
that. Absolutely. And you made a friend today. So
Yeah. So did you. Thank you for having me. This was
yeah,
fun.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit you with a follow on this. I think I forgot to do that, but I
Okay.
got you. Yeah.
Sounds good.
But yep, guys, that was Kat here speaking, and yeah, that was great.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.